All right, we're working here. I'd like to welcome everyone to this afternoon's meeting of Indiana's Education Roundtable. Thank you all for your attendance and your promptness. I know I speak on behalf of my fellow co-chair, the Superintendent of Public Instruction, when I say how much we appreciate your engagement and an active role on behalf of Indiana's kids and Indiana's schools. So appreciate very much the men and women gathered around this table. It's my role to call the meeting to order and talk a little bit about our agenda. I'll make some comments and then yield to the superintendent for comments and for consideration of a number of resolutions. But I formally would call this meeting to order. Our purpose today is to review the academic standards resource guides for Indiana's new English language arts and math standards. And we will then consider a resolution regarding the replacement assessment for the I-STAR, our alternate assessment. And finally, we'll consider a resolution on policy guidance as we develop new state assessments aligned with our new academic standards. And look forward to a good discussion. Without further ado, let's turn to our agenda. And Claire Fitty and Green, if you'd call the roll.
Mr. Aguilera, Mr. Baker, Mr. Bertram.
Here.
Mr. Bland.
Present.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Representative Baining.
Here.
Mr. Breeden.
Present.
Mr. Brinegar.
Here.
Ms. Day.
Here.
Mr. Dwyer.
Here.
Mr. Edwards. Mr. Elsner.
Present.
Mr. Hubbard.
Here.
Ms. Hughes. Here. Mayor Hurst. Mr. Kiley.
Here.
Senator Cruz.
Here.
Mr. Lechtenberg.
Here.
Commissioner Lubbers. Here. President McRobbie.
Here.
Ms. Meredith.
Here.
Mr. O'Rourke. Representative Smith.
Present.
Superintendent Robinson.
Here.
Senator Rogers.
Here.
Mr. Sanders.
Here.
Mr. Shields.
Here.
Mr. Stanzakevich.
Here.
Mr. Tebby.
Here.
And Mr. Ward.
Here.
Superintendent Ritz.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Superintendent Ritz.
Here.
Governor Pence.
Present. With that, I am informed that we have a quorum for this meeting of the Indiana Education Roundtable. You have before you minutes of our April 21st, 2014 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections, or upon review, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the minutes have been approved. As I mentioned, I'm going to begin to, I'm going to share a few remarks on some of the business of the day, and then I'll ask the superintendent to share such remarks as she deems appropriate and introduce the next two agenda items. First off, before we get to the substance of the Education Roundtable's agenda today, I'd like to provide some brief remarks on the status of Indiana's work with the U.S. Department of Education in regards to retaining the state's federal No Child Left Behind waiver. I'd inform members of the Roundtable that I've had two conversations over the telephone this past month with the Secretary of Education, Arnie Duncan, regarding the retention of our existing waiver. I reiterated our administration is fully committed to retaining the waiver and the state and local flexibility that it affords to our students, our teachers, and our schools. I reinforced to him our administration is committed to maintaining student assessments on schedule and teacher and school accountability without interruption. I understand that this is a time of a considerable transition for our teachers and our schools. Our new standards will be in place this upcoming school year. ISTEP will be revised for the 2014-2015 year to reflect these new standards, and then we'll be transitioning to a new assessment for the 15-16 year. I think it's important to remember that the impetus behind shifting to more rigorous standards, college and career-ready assessments, was greatly informed by the fact that more than 10,000 of our high school graduates required remediation upon enrolling in our public colleges and universities. Those are outcomes we simply cannot accept, and I want to again commend the members of the Education Roundtable and, of course, our State Board of Education and all those